This is Shawlis Nagel, Executive Director at Kimmer Village in Assumption. To learn more about our services, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into the WTIM information station. My name is Tim Zalabak. Time now for the WTIM morning show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. I got Nancy Sweet with me today. She's the Dean of Workforce Institute over there at Lincoln Land Community College. Nancy, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Of course. You sound great on our end. And of course, with school coming up soon, we got to talk about everything going down over there at Lincoln Land Community College. You guys got something pretty big coming up here on the 21st of September. It's an annual Workforce and Ag Expo. Just tell me about this. It sounds very exciting.
Yeah, so it is a way that we're able to introduce both our current students and many high school students to all the amazing career opportunities in the workforce trades and in ag. So it's an outdoor event, and with it being outdoor, it makes it really cool because these employers are able to bring really large equipment. So picture going to school for diesel technology and being able to get on some of that large kind of farm equipment, skid steer loaders, things like that, to actually see what you'd be working on here on campus. And these employers bring really cool kind of interactive trainers that students can work on that use VR, super high-tech stuff. And the students can just chat with employers and really learn about what are these career paths that have high demand, high wage positions that they can go to school right here at Lincoln Land for.
What an unbelievable opportunity these high schoolers are going to get to see here. You mentioned some of the different things that are going to be seen, because I can't believe the science that has really made its way into agriculture. You mentioned VR and all those things that have really made its way. They talk about drones surveying fields sometimes. So that's going to be a really awesome opportunity for these kids. And you mentioned so many employers are there. You said 50 last year. You said you're expected to have 70 this year?
That's right. And they come from kind of all different avenues of the trade, including ag as well. So, for instance, we're going to have students that can talk to folks in automotive technology, industrial maintenance and manufacturing, general construction. I mentioned diesel, welding and HVAC, electricians, aviation mechanics, truck driver training. And another cool thing we'll have going on that day, this expo coincides with the Illinois Lineman Rodeo. So it is an annual safety competition that is hosted here at Lincoln Land because Lincoln Land also offers a lineman program. Well, students are doing this, they'll actually get to see the Lineman Rodeo going on where professional linemen do competitions here. And it's just a really cool experience, like I said, to see this vast array of opportunities that everyone from our area has the opportunity to train for right here in Springfield.
Wow. It almost sounds like a county fair over there. You guys are going to have so many different things going on. It's very exciting.
It'll be a fun day. I mean, last year we hosted about 500 high school students and hoping for even more this year. And it's just incredible to see them talk with these employers and them realize the potential that they have, that, you know, four-year school isn't the only opportunity to have a really great income, that, you know, 1 or 2 years at Lincoln Land and you could be working in an industry that you love and that takes care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big proponent of junior colleges. I went to one myself, and yes, they just do a great job of providing these opportunities. And yes, especially these trades, and you might not understand what is expected of you, and what a great opportunity to really see it in front of you with this job fair experience. Really great.
Sure.
And yeah, go ahead.
Up in advance, that way we can know who's coming. So what you can do is just go to Lincoln Land's website, and if you go in the search bar, just type in Expo, and it'll pull that right up. And so employers can link in right there, schools can link in right there, and go ahead and sign up. And then I am the contact for this, and can answer any questions about what to expect for the day.
Beautiful. So easy to register there on Lincoln Land Community College's website, and you just type in Expo there in the search bar. That's awesome. So we're talking about this is the second annual Workforce and Ag Expo. Any opportunity there for local businesses participating?
Absolutely. If you kind of relate to some of those programs I talked about, please feel free to sign up or to get in touch with me to talk a bit more about what to expect for the day, what that will look like, what kind of equipment or kind of interactive things to bring, and we'd be happy to figure out if this is a good showcase for your company.
Yeah, you mentioned it's just a lot of trades, a lot of agriculture related things. So, you've been receiving these calls and people wanting to participate.
Yeah, I think we are. I think we just kind of put it live Monday, and we already have 20 employers signed up. And certainly diesel and ag are quite a few of them, but on the construction side of things, whether it be HVAC, electrical, carpentry, and also our industrial maintenance side of things. So folks within manufacturing, those folks that kind of help repair the machinery within manufacturing firms here locally, and then of course Jacksonville, Litchfield, we see a lot of regional support from them as well. So all those different fields will be represented on the 21st of September.
Amazing. Yeah. Not leaving anyone out there. And yeah, if you were not interested in a 4-year educational track program, I mean, this is a great opportunity for you to see what's really out there. It's really awesome. And everything that you can find at the job fair here, you can find classes to help you out for at Lincoln Land Community College, I'm sure.
That's correct. And when students sign up, they have the option if they'd like to add on a more intensive ag experience to learn specifically more about our ag programs, or if you'd like, you can sign up to tour our workforce center where you learn more about the trades program. So it offers you an opportunity to kind of hone in on some areas if you're interested the day of as well.
Absolutely. Wow. It's a great opportunity. And you said you had about 500 high schoolers last year. What are you expecting the participation to be like this year?
In an ideal world, we'd get to see students from every one of the schools within our district, which would put us up to several hundred more over that. So we'll be reaching out to all the high schools and talking with them to help get them organized so that their students can have this opportunity to interact with employers in their area.
Sure. Yeah. What would you tell to a student right now that may be questioning what they should do after? Maybe they don't want to join a trade. Maybe they don't want to do a 4-year institution. What would you say to them?
I think I would challenge them to kind of think differently. Just because you might hear the word electrician, female might think, oh, that's a guy's job. Or you might hear the word automotive technology and you think, oh, that's dirty, that's greasy. Most of these jobs, the reality of them is much different than what folks think. They're clean, they're high tech, they've involved problem solving, critical thinking, computer based, and they're open to everyone. The opportunity is open to everyone. So don't think maybe it's not for you. Because it very well could be.
Yeah, absolutely. That's some really good advice there. So yes, anyone that is questioning their future there, what a great place to get started. That's what it really is, because there's just so many different places to journey through, and you can really see yourself in different ones, because you can sit in a cab of a tractor, or you can put on those VR goggles. That sounds really awesome.
Yeah, and these are skill sets that, of course, we love to keep our graduates local, but these are skills that will literally take you anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And so we're talking about the workforce. What are some of the specific training programs that are going to be offered here with the Workforce Institute?
Sure. So with the Workforce Institute, one of our shortest ones and most popular is truck driver training, which we often see people go to work directly after that, or they might combine it with something else, because that CDL is such an important tool to have when you are in the trade. But we have a program actually out close to the airport for aviation mechanics. Starting pay for aviation mechanics after school is usually about $26, $27 an hour. Hard to beat that. Then, like I said, we've got several things in the field of construction. So whether you're looking to just go into construction management, or more specifically an avenue like either electrician, lineman, HVAC, or welding, we have programs all specifically for those. We also, like I said, have our automotive technology program, as well as a diesel tech program. And then we just kicked off our industrial maintenance program, which focuses more on kind of the support of manufacturing companies, making sure that their equipment stays up and running. So understanding electronics, hydraulics, pneumatics, kind of being the fixer of all things within a manufacturing facility. So a lot of different options, all involve a lot of problem solving, but you kind of figure out, what speaks to you, what you enjoy the most, what makes you tick.
Yeah, absolutely. A great many training programs right there. And what kind of experience do you need coming into these? I mean, I'm sure so many people are not going to have the on-job experience, but are they going to be okay with that?
They will. Every program starts as introductory, where you're going to learn basic safety. You're going to learn how to handle tools. You might go through OSHA 10 training, but you're also going to learn about that industry. You're going to learn about all the different employment paths. because just because you're going to the automotive industry doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a mechanic. You may go down the parts field. You may go down the corporate field. So being able to communicate to new students all the different paths within these areas is, I think, really critical, because a lot of times people aren't aware of the vast opportunities with this. So we start you off slow. We give you a lot of opportunities to be hands-on in practice, which I think, that the Phil's added, practice makes perfect. We're in the lab. That's what we shoot for here.
Yeah, without a doubt. That's really great that it's going to start with introductions. Students don't have to be too stressed out because you can get a start in any field over there with basically no experience. As long as you're willing to learn and work hard, I'm sure it can come easily to you. That's really awesome. Nancy, we're going to take our first short little break here. This has been great. Sitting down with Nancy Sweet right now. She's the Dean of the Workforce Institute over there at Lincoln Land Community College. They have their I'm going to read this out. They have their Workforce and Ag Expo on September 21st for high school students. Sounds great. We'll talk more about that when we come back. You are listening to the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
You are not called upon to make funeral arrangements very often. When you are, you want to turn to somebody you trust. This is Mike Masterson with Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid. Through the years, we have grown to know the people in our area. Our family has established a reputation for providing beautiful, dignified services. We have provided 3 generations of experience, compassion, and a long-lasting tradition of community service. Let our family serve your family. Masterson Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Kincaid.
This is Dwayne Wheeler, the police chief of the city of Taylorville. As a law enforcement officer, I've seen the impact that depression and suicide have on many people. Many times, those contemplating suicide endure considerable suffering and distress, but there is help. If you feel depressed or lonely, there are many resources to help you. You can call a trusted relative, friend, or minister, or call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That is 1-800-273-TALK. All of us are here to help you. Thank you.
Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville invites you to make their home your home. Become part of the Rolling Meadows family. Applications for residency are now being accepted. Rolling Meadows offers seniors 62 and older a smoke-free facility with round-the-clock maintenance, controlled access, large kitchens with full-size appliances, on-site laundry facilities, complimentary Wi-Fi in common areas, and more. Call 217-287-2450 to schedule an appointment. Rolling Meadows is sponsored by Lutheran Social Services of Illinois and funded through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and Federal Home Bank of Chicago. Rolling Meadows is an equal housing opportunity provider.
The Christian County Economic Development Corporation has announced details for its selection process to fill the position of Executive Director and is accepting resumes. Required qualifications include a bachelor's degree in economic development, business administration, public administration, or other relevant field of study, or 3 years of professional experience managing an economic development program or equivalent experience. County residence is preferred. Compensation is commensurate with experience and ability. Resumes are to be submitted via email to John Gardner, Chairperson, Christian County Economic Development Corporation, whose email address is jgardner@bankpbt.com, no later than August 14th. The CCEDC Executive Committee will review resumes and set up in-person interviews with selected qualified candidates. Again, resumes are to be submitted via email to John Gardner, Chairperson, Christian County Economic Development Corporation, whose email address is jgardner@bankpbt.com, no later than August 14th. CCEDC is an equal opportunity employer. A retirement community that feels like home. That's Taylorville Estates Assisted Living. Come and go as you want. Enjoy social activities and enjoy your golden years. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back into the WTIM information station. My name is Tim Zala. Back time now to continue the WTIM morning show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark at Taylorville. I got Nancy Sweet on the line. She's the Dean of Workforce Institute over there at Lincoln Land Community College. There's a Workforce and Ag Expo happening on the 21st of September for high school students, and it's sounding like a great opportunity with so many employers going to be heading out there. Nancy, do we still got you on the line here with us?
I'm here.
beautiful. You sound great on our end. And yeah, let's continue here. We talked about so many of the training programs being offered by these great many employers here. So I want to talk about the on-job training here. Are we talking classroom setting? Are we talking we're in the field? Are we in a lab? What does that look like?
We try to strive for a mix. With these programs, it's a mix of theory, and it's a mix of hands-on. We're trying to replicate, the workplace as best as we can. So most of these programs, their basic electrical is a common theme for all of them. And so, there is that basic electrical theory that has to be learned along with other things in the field. And so, yeah, there is certainly some book work with it, but we want students to be in the lab, working, doing, problem solving, being critical thinkers, how to kind of ask questions about how do I fix this? How do I solve this? So we about at least half, if not more than half of their time is actually spent in the lab. And like I said, we want to replicate the real world. So for instance, in our HVAC lab, students are working on heating units, air conditioning. But the thing is, they're not just sitting on a workbench. We've designed walls to be around them. So just like in a home, you're going to be working in a cramped space. You may have to be on the floor on your back to get to where you need to be. So we are replicating some of those kind of harder working conditions. We actually have part of our HVAC lab is set out right outside, so that students may be working in the cold or in the heat, because that is very much what it's going to be like in the real world. Same for our welding program. Some of those kind of lab areas are set up outside. So again, we're replicating the real world, but we're very much encouraging students within our program to seek out work-based learning opportunities where they might be job shadowing or having an internship. And we work hard to support those opportunities too, to be that bridge between the training program and between the employer. So we can kind of start them possibly slow with that job shadowing and then advance them in hopefully to a full-time opportunity as they finish up their training here.
Yeah, that sounds like a huge pull for people that maybe don't like the classroom too much. You're going to have some book work, but about 50% of the time you'll be out in the field. And what a great opportunity that is, because sometimes when you're in the classroom, you feel miles away from what the actual job will feel like. But you mentioned there with your HVAC facilities, the classroom's kind of designed like a home with with walls that can get dented and scuffed up. That's pretty funny.
And so we want to work hard to ensure we're replicating both those like kind of residential and commercial settings. And so helping them understand the magnitude of work sites. So us being able to take students on site visits and bring guest speakers in is really critical for them to have that big picture, I think, of what they do here. And we want to prepare them to be confident on the job site. So embedding some of those employability skills, so they understand how to work with customers and how to work with their boss and how to work with their coworkers. So that we hear oftentimes from employers, we need folks to show up, of course, but also understand how to work, be civil to each other and be conscientious in their work. So trying to embed a lot of those standards within things.
Wow. So not just regular day-to-day operations of a job, but also, how to interact professionally in the workplace with coworkers. That's invaluable right there. I mean, that's going to take them to any workplace they ever want to go to. So that's great. So we're talking about all these strengthening programs for these trainees here. And what's their outcomes when they finish the programs? What is the job prospects like for the students?
It's amazing how many calls we get from employers. And every time we talk with employers that they're consistently looking for folks that are trainable, that are ready to learn. Of course, when you leave these programs, you're not set to be kind of a master of your trade yet. We've prepared you to have a good starting off point to start that career. So the work certainly doesn't stop here. You've got to continue to work very, very hard and invest in yourself and your skills when you leave here. But the employers, if you're ready to do that, it's amazing the opportunities for you. Some programs start, a little bit higher earlier than others. But many of our programs within 5 years, there's no reason that you may not be at the $60,000 to $75,000 mark. If not, some of our programs with overtime, you could see six figures easily. And that kind of runs through all of these career trade employment opportunities.
Sure. Wow. It's unbelievable there. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. And what would employers do if not for this great job fair, getting some great training in on the job? That's amazing. So we're getting near the end here, Nancy. If I'm interested, if business is interested, high schoolers, where can they go to participate in the upcoming expos?
Go to Lincoln Land's website and the search bar, just search Expo. And information will come up there. There's a link for employers to register. There's a link for high schools to register. And then contact information is on there for me. That way, if you have questions, I can walk you through any of those answers.
Beautiful. Nancy, thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. That's Nancy Sweet. She's the Dean of Workforce Institute over at Lincoln Land Community College. The Workforce and Ag Expo happening on September 21st for high school students. Everything in the fields of trade and linemen and electricians and HVAC workers. I'm forgetting so many, but gosh, there's going to be 70 employers out there for anyone looking to get involved. This is it for the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you all for listening. You've been listening to the WTIM Information Station.
Your information station, WTIM.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. An attempt to make it more difficult to amend the state constitution has gone down to defeat in a referendum in Ohio. Had it passed, any constitutional changes would have required a 60% margin.